What's up, people? What's waking up from a nap? I napped, but I had the decency to nap at 7 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. I mean, come on, who naps at 10 p.m.? Minor cleanup. Okay. About to just quit your job. How long have you been on this job? I don't know what to clean up first. There's so many cleanups. There are 409 cleanups. That one looks harder to think about. Let's find some easy ones. I'm just going to click around until I find easy ones. Did that get... Let's see. No. Hasn't been modified. Oh, wait, August. Oh, but it's August on my computer. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just going to email really fast. Interviewed at Amazon. Well, I don't think I would do very well at Amazon. Oh my God, okay. Get full path name. Library paths. This is weird. I don't like what somebody did here. where it might be me. I don't like this get full path name A. I don't like any of that. This is definitely, let's take a look at this one, see if we can clean this one up. The argument other lambda oh boy. Okay. Let's see if we can move this. We carry polymorphism from the returns. got you. Okay. So I sure have a lot of cleanups about this, which is good, because if we actually clean it up, oops. Okay. I don't think that's right. I don't know. I don't know. Post type check. Steal. Where did that one happen? So do that, and then do that. Who knows what's going to happen? My sleep's going to be messed up. Yeah, maybe. It's actually been better now. Did I talk about why I use classes? I don't use classes. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Ah! Well, I screwed that one up. See, this is the kind of thing I don't want to debug right now. I want to do easy things to cut down on the number of cleanups. That said, this is complicated, or it's important to simplify. Oh, wait. I mean, knew that wouldn't fix anything. Fuck. It's probably something complicated. this out for a second. Just for a second. Then they're both problematic. So what's going wrong is both of these have polymorphic procedures as arguments. Okay. So the deal is, we're like queuing and making a dependency on that procedure because we didn't mark the parent procedure as polymorphic yet, which, if I revert this, I bet I could reproduce that case. Let's do that. Let's revert. We'll revert this and reproduce the problem, assuming I know what is going on, with a much simpler case. So we're going to go f x, or problem takes an argument that's f from a pointer to some struct to bool s, I don't know. That's fine. Probably nothing in it. Okay, so this should be fine, actually. This shouldn't have a problem. Great. If I do this and make it polymorphic, I bet it has a problem. It didn't. Oops. Okay. That's how you want to do it. Okay, I really thought that that would be a thing. Okay. Well, let's instead then just do some step-by-step simplifications so that we can see exactly what the problem is. I don't know why that would be true in my comment. Maybe it's just namespaces? No. Am I coming down with a cold? I'm mostly over a cold. Except that now I seem to be sneezing a lot tonight. So maybe I'm less over it again. Maybe I'm about to be super sick forever. I mean, I think I can at least, I should move this into this procedure. Yeah. And then we'll decide if we want to inline it. Like it's really only one thing. So that really shouldn't break anything. Let's check. Yeah, okay. So next, so this, what's going on is this thing here that maybe checks, or maybe flags the procedure as polymorphic, happens at parse time, right? Let's look at where this is called. Put arguments into lambda. Yeah, this happens anytime we build a procedure, which is mostly parse time. And the thing is, in parsing, for some types of procedure, you don't know if they're polymorphic or not yet. Like the ones that have struct arguments. This only works on things that are syntactically decorated. So what this comment is about is it's saying, look, if we have to wait till after infer to do this for some of these, we might as well for everything. And then that makes it fail for some reason. And I think the reason is probably that well, there's this problem. No? I don't know. So let's just see. I suspect that the problem wasn't me moving the code over here. I suspect that this being commented out right here will cause the problem. Right? Yeah, same problem. Quick sort, circular dependencies. Not really, but yeah. So the question is, which thing being gone exactly is the problem? Is it that one? I mean, this will also be bad. This definitely won't work. Yes, right? So why? Why do I have to steal these now? Let me get rid of this because this just doesn't need to be there. That's not really meaningful. And this, I don't think needs to happen. Let's run all the tests on that. Okay. In fact, even this is highly debatable. That's the one bug from yesterday we didn't actually fix. We got to get that one eventually. In the console, you saw .lua. One of these tests might have a Lua something? I don't know. Have a good bedtime. Okay. Um, let's try commenting out that. This, I think, is just really historical. I was being paranoid about something a long time ago. Oh, this is weird because this is weird. I really think what I want to do here is I think that's the thing that makes the most sense. We're just saying, look, this is a polymorphic argument, and it is what it is. Okay, so assuming the tests work, then this is a little bit of a profitable cleanup already. And then the question is, why does stealing... So we mark the parent lambda as polymorphic. Well, we can determine, I guess we can comment out portions of this. I assume it's literally just this line, that if we don't mark it as polymorphic, it has this problem. So now the question is why, if we could figure out that it's polymorphic later, whoops, I meant to run tests, well, whatever. Yeah, so that, oh no. So it happens now, it's not the polymorphic flag. It's probably this. No. I mean, that's a different problem. See, now, oh, it's this? Yeah, okay. So don't we have an official remove from scope? Remove from scope. Okay. This isn't a hack anymore. This definitely needs to happen. So let's go. Boom. That is fine. Okay, so I think we're going to check in these minor cleanups that we've been doing. We want to get the major one. Oh, you just mean this thing, this frickin' thing. Yeah, that's a stupid bug in Commander. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I'm going to use that as an example in my next speech about how shitty software is in 2019. Okay. So that's good. We're going to say commit. I'm going to type minor cleanups. Boom. So we've made some progress tonight, even if not major. Now, I just want to, I mean, this is going to produce a lot of printf spam, but %p. Yes, okay. So the deal is these procedures are queued and need to get unqueued. Or I mean, let's try it. Didn't like that. Let's see why. Maybe there's a reason it has to stay queued. Add dependency. So this is a declaration within a lambda. Yep. Oh, you know, we actually can't unqueue this. That doesn't make sense because we need, if it's like a procedure declaration, we need types for the things that are non-polymorphic. This is not good. We need to infer the things that we can infer. So it was that if we don't add things to the destination's constants block, then it may be that it just gets stuck looking up identifiers, in which case our error message is not very good. That I don't. Right? It was literally this one that caused that problem. Oh, whoops, wrong compiler. Indeed, that is way out of date. Way out of date. So, I am tempted, now that we simplified this down to a relatively small thing, okay, so the thing that's different with struct wildcards is those don't have identifiers within them. Okay, let's do some experiments. So we've got a compiler here with this bug intentionally in it. Oh wait, we've got to rebuild again. No, wait, what? Got to rebuild it again. So we have this compiler with this bug intentionally in it. Okay, so I'm actually suspecting that if I don't reference the identifier from within the thing, right? That may not be a problem. Whoops. It is. Interesting. This will not be a problem. Whoops. Right? So, I mean, I could just debug that and see why it's stuck. Although at the same time, is there a real reason for me to move this? I mean, the hypothesis of this comment okay, where is the other? There must be a steal entries. Oh yeah, it was the post type check steal entries. So the whole goal of what I'm trying to do is to not have to do this as a separate thing. Either for arguments or return values. That would be nice. So we say if there's any members in the constants block. That's a pretty simple criterion. I think this comment is wrong. Okay, hold on. No, let's not worry about it. Or update. I think it's... God, typing is so sluggish in Visual Studio. So sluggish. When you fix the not, have I also tested not? Well, like the problem that I fixed would not be related to using it multiple times. It's the sort of thing where if it works once, it'll work n times. Well, so I think okay, because I'm about to step in the debugger and figure out why this is happening so that we can try to simplify it, I think I'm not going to do this, and I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say like, or I'm actually going to move this. I'm going to move this where I wanted to move it to. And in fact, as far as I can tell, this should do that. Like, like Actually, no. No. What is going on now? That. Cleanup. If we make is post type check stealable lambda, a little stronger handling type and store. Wait. I don't think that's valid. That is not a thing. You can't do that. Okay. Right. Okay, so this is what we were doing before, and it will not work. And we're just going to build the debug compiler and circular dependency it. How would constant block ever win any contest if her entries are being stolen all the time? Well, there are many constants blocks, and one of them always steals another one. So there is some constants out there who becomes very rich in the end, and she wins the contest. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I should go to cycle. There we go. Okay. What are we looking at? It's a lambda body. Obviously, we knew that. We knew that. It's in pipe infer. It's got one dependency. Wait, one pipe infers two, right? So this is a live dependency, and the target is a lambda. This is going to be the argument lambda. So why is this blocked? It's blocked on not being able to finish being flattened. Blocked on this one, which is an identifier. I bet it's the identifier that's polymorphic. question is, yeah. Oh wait, we're compiling the whole frickin' Sokoban right now. Not bar. Let's do it again for bar. I suspect what the problem is, but oops. What? Why is that not working? Oh. Oh, we're getting a different error. That's how spacey I am. I am Kevin Spacey. Polymorphic procedure must have a body. Okay, it's because, so this is a secondary problem. It's the fact that well, procedures that are polymorphic get type checked to ensure they have a body. This one hasn't had its polymorphism stolen till later. That is an issue. We could do this the other way around. We could do this the other way around. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to do a pass. Basically, when we're checking a procedure, we iterate over the arguments. We say, do we need to steal anyone's entries? And if so, we do so. That's fine. But it actually incurs a performance cost where procedures are iterating over all their arguments and doing this thing. It's maybe not that high of a cost, but it is. On the other hand, we could do it the other way. When we infer a procedure that's polymorphic, if it is an argument, which we can tell, we can say, if our enclosing scope is arguments or returns, then do the steal. That is crazier. It's maybe not crazy at all. It's maybe the cleanest thing. It's instead of stealing, we'll just give you. We'll still call it steal. It's so crazy, it just might work. Okay. Where would we do that? We do check function header. Oh, that's where we just were. So instead of doing this, or where's the other one? Or that. This one's weird. I don't wait if. So if it defines a constants block entry, a return declaration, is argument a return type? What? What is that for? Oh boy, features crossing with other features. All right, so so now nobody steals anything. That's no good. Okay, so achoo! Okay. At the end, after we've done all our type checking, if we still have things, if lambda constants block member, right? Isn't that what is stealable? Constants block members items. If I've got anything in my constants block after all that, parent block type. If parent type is block, what is it? Arguments. Steal constants block entries. If this works, it'll be so much simpler. What are the chances of it working? don't know. Well, that didn't frickin' work. Oh, because we have the same, right. Where does that get checked? Okay. If we're polymorphic, well, there's that simple program. How about this simple program? So this is the same problem as before, though. So the question is, which identifier? It's like blocking on not being able to resolve one of the identifiers. And so it could be the one in the header, or it could be one, I suspect it's one internal to the body. Oh, we got to do this again. If this works, though, I'll be very happy with this cleanup. Let me tell you how frickin' happy I will be. I almost can't believe that it could be this simple, but maybe it is. Almost can't believe. I almost don't dare to believe. Okay, so again, we're here. It's R, well, we're just looking at the dependencies again. There is one dependency, same flags, same target. It is a lambda. That lambda, yep, number 8. Number 8. Got to resolve declaration, but probably no inferred type, no. So it's saying I want to know the type of this declaration. The declaration doesn't have a type yet. but it, well, so the declaration is line 97, which should be just the parameter, right? Let's make sure that's right. I bet it is. Yeah, so it's this R. Now I bet that R has actually been stolen. Let's see. Declaration and closing scope belongs to lambda. Do we have a name? No. Line 97, character 34. Character 34, that's way out here. So this actually hasn't been inferred? Hold on. It's not queued. What? Oh, I guess we don't queue those. Where do we put flattened infer cursor? Flattened index. It's not flattened. This is banana cakes. It's banana cakes. What do I mean by stolen in this context? So let's look here, for example. So the way we parse this is that this is a procedure and it has a return argument that's a polymorphic variable, right? So that ends up being one item. But this variable is not really a variable of the procedure, right? It's a variable of this outer procedure. So when we parse this, this gets stored as a variable of this inner procedure, and then later we need to say, no, actually, we need to know R to figure out the type of the outer procedure, not just the inner procedure, right? Now you might say, why don't we just do that at parse time? In fact, why even do this steal thing? Why not put it in the correct block of where you know that it is? And one answer is because when somebody submits an abstract syntax tree to us, we also have to do this. So we might as well do it in an argument post process, I guess. I don't know, man. But, I mean, we don't let you submit a procedure header right now. Anyway, I need to think about that one. But the other answer is that you don't always know at parse time, because you can have an argument that's a struct, that's a polymorphic struct. And you use the name of the struct, and it just looks like the regular struct, but it happens to be polymorphic. Now you might say, well, don't do that. Just always mark it as polymorphic in the syntax. And I'm like, well, but this is one of the things that make polymorphic types less of a pain in the ass. If you want to go from a struct with no arguments to a struct with one argument, you don't suddenly have to go editing all your source code. So anyway, so we have this procedure where it's like, look, we used to do it multiple times. We used to do it some at parse time, and then for the procedure thing, we used to do it later, do this steal operation. I'm a little bit wondering, why do I do stealing as opposed to just walking to the outer place and putting it in the right place? Like either at parse time or what? And I wonder, like, because you could imagine that you could just walk, when you're processing this, you could just walk up the pointer to this thing. And the answer to that is, maybe you're inside a macro and don't know yet what your parent is. So maybe this is the best way to do it. Now I'm doing it now. Actually, which would mean that I shouldn't do it this way. See, features interacting with each other is dangerous business. It's what makes things so hard. People are talking about Notepad. Are there any plans for VR compatibility? No, Witness was not really designed for VR. You really want games that were designed for VR. Yeah, in the old days, so I don't think anybody ships with a compiler now. But in the old days, you always had a compiler on a workstation class computer. And at one point, Sun Microsystems started shipping Solaris without a compiler installed. And it was a huge scandal. Oh my God, somebody is shipping a Unix operating system without a compiler. It's a lack of freedom and ability to determine your own blah, blah, blah. Right? But now nobody cares. And now everybody uses Facebook. You remember that. You're old like me if you remember that. Maybe you're older than me. I mean, Sun Microsystems went out of business, and now Google owns their campus, so maybe they should have kept the compiler in. You used to boot or type in BASIC immediately? Not on a Sun workstation, you didn't. So in this case, the helper tries to infer its type of F, but it can't because F was partially stolen. Well, what's going on is let me tell you what's going on. So we're never getting to the point where we steal, because I changed it now so that we steal down here, which happens at the very end of the type checking for this thing, right? The idea is this thing gets type checked. It says, oh, I have these arguments. Let me pass them up. Now, the problem is that there's some identifier R trying to get resolved right now before, and I think it's actually this very R. Let's check that. Because this would be terrible. Line 97, character 42. So because this didn't get stolen at parse time, for some reason it's trying to look itself up and getting log jammed. That's just dumb behavior no matter what. Like when we put that in the constants block, maybe we should mark that as do not resolve. But then when we do the steal, it does resolve, which is weird. So when we steal, maybe we're doing something extra that lets it resolve. Okay. We are going to set test infer and step down into the thing that tries to look up this identifier. This is going to be a lot of stepping. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Wait, what? So what just happened was we came back to infer the stuff. It said, hey, our header's polymorphic. So skip everything and set our inferred type and all this. This didn't happen before. So it kind of got stuck on this identifier. Can we go from the header to the body? Yes. So what this says is the following thing. Hey, if we're about to try to infer all the types for everything in a procedure body, well, if the procedure is polymorphic, there's not much point in doing that because we probably can't tell the types of very many things. So just don't bother. Skip to the end and call it done. This right here is sort of saying, hey, skip to the end and call it done. Now, this didn't happen the first time through. Because we didn't know it was polymorphic. because we hadn't stolen the thing. I am confused, however, like there's all sorts of stuff wrong. The body is at line 97, character 22. I mean, I think it is this F. Wait. I mean, character 22 is like right there, which is weird. But if I look at the header and the number of arguments, I can tell which one it is. Header, arguments block 2. So yeah, this is the outer procedure. And it didn't know I don't know why it didn't know it was polymorphic, because the argument was polymorphic, but again, I guess if we don't okay. That explains, though, why we're trying to infer a body, because there is a body to this. If it was this, I was confused. Like, why are we trying to infer the body? But it's this. So there's a body here, but it's like, look, like with this, there's no point in trying to know what type this is, because it depends on this, and, you know, just like you might guess, that totally depends on this, probably. So... well, I mean, really, it depends on we don't even know the types of these things. So the way it works is it says just bail out and don't try to type check those things. So the mystery is, why didn't this happen till later? So one thing we could do when we mark this as polymorphic, we could like unqueue the body or finish the body. I'm not sure. So there's a disadvantage to this, though, this approach, which is we might end up doing a lot of work on this procedure body because we didn't bother to mark this as polymorphic till way later, even though we knew that it was. So like, maybe from that standpoint, I should do the steel back at the time that I was doing the steel instead of later. Because if we do the steel at parse time, we save ourselves from flailing. And in fact, we don't have to cue the body. I think that may, well, see, this is one of those things where there's potentially a performance reason to do it this way. I'm not sure how big of a performance reason it is. Like, I'm not sure how much time it translates into. There's potentially a code cleanliness reason to do it the way I'm doing it. And you know what? Right now, code cleanliness is my biggest problem. Like, I need the code to be simpler and easier to understand so that we can like make everything as robust as it needs to be and finish all the features. So I think I'm going to keep, I almost for a second there decided to revert and go back to the steel, original steel, and just slightly clean it up cosmetically and ship it. But I think now actually I want to try to do it this way. And in terms of performance, there's actually not much reason to try to infer a procedure body until you've done the header anyway. So like if that becomes a perf issue, that's something we could solve globally. Because like one of the first things a procedure is likely to do is like talk about its arguments. So you kind of really want the arguments to be figured out before you do the body. Okay, I believe all that. I kind of believe it. Kind of believe it. Okay. So then the problem that I just want to solve is the fact that this thing is trying to look itself up. Well, there's two issues. One is the body okay. So we're going to go into here, and this thing this one, this thing right here, Okay. I think we could just unqueue. Okay, so I don't actually know what's going to happen if I unqueue that. Because for some reason, later stages of the pipeline might care about it. This is an experiment. Well, that didn't frickin' help. Really? Oh, because we never got to the steal. We were already saying we never got to the steal. But we did flag it as polymorphic. I mean, that's the weird thing. Like when we're here, by the time we do this logjam for circular dependencies, we have this expression, it's a body. If we go look at the header, it's got 512 in its defen flags. 512, right there, buddy. So boy, we set this in a lot of places. Okay. Let me fix that. That's a search and replace casualty right there. Although if I end up reverting, attach defen to constants block entry. Okay, that we don't worry about. Typedef polyuse, parser time, no problem. Polymorph. Make packing variant. some more get inferred type of it. Check function, yeah, really, still. Okay, keep coming back here. Oh yeah, because we so we can make something polymorphic if the argument is polymorphic. We do that here. So let's do the body thing there. I think lambdas maybe always have a body, I don't know. Unq. Like what? Visual Studio is so terrible. Okay. That's for structs. Okay, if this isn't the problem that I just fixed, then I'm not sure what it could be. Although if I were to gamble, I'd say there's at least a 70% chance nothing changed. It does not take one. Oh, that's what it was trying to say. Fucking useless. Blue video game rating with party 4. Hello. Hello. Didn't fix it. Well, I can always break when those defen flags get set. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to find out when this body gets created. We are running with no jobs, right? No jobs. Make lambda, make lambda. We're going to say conditions body arrow s is equal to that. So when we make this guy, now we're going to say lambda defen flags, they're 0. Okay. I can't say break when value changes on this. Maybe it has to be this. Nope. Dude, this program is so bad. Okay. New. Data breakpoint OX28A4170. Okay. Okay, wait. Two eight eight four one two eight. What? 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 Wait. Lambda. Definite flag 0. Body. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Two eight three nine eight 283988. Put an OX on there just in case. It's a really short address. All right. Okay. How did I miss this one? Oh, because it's in parser. What? Okay, we set it polymorphic in the parser. Then what's the problem here? I mean, we haven't even parsed the body. So what I'm wondering about is, so I could unqueue the body here, but like when we go to infer things, right, the body has not gone into that infer loop that we were talking about, right? So flattened infer cursor is 0. So why didn't we trip that thing? Why didn't we trip this? Because the lambda is marked as polymorphic. Bro. It's a force infer? Wait, what? S74105? 74105. Okay, this is, I'm being victimized by another complication of the system. Oh wait, no. No, it's not true. Wait, what? Have I been confused this whole time? Have I just been debugging the wrong thing? I do that sometimes. Things are complicated. Yeah. It's not the body that's getting stuck, it's the header that's getting stuck. It's fine. It's fine. So here's the problem. Test inferring the body doesn't matter. It would pass infer, but the reason it doesn't is because it's holding a dependency on the header. It's the frickin' header that we need to care about. Arrgh, I didn't, okay. It's fine. I'm not gonna burn anything down, it's fine. The header is the one that's stuck at 8. And that's just dumb. All right. So we're just going to look at that identifier. And we're going to look at that. We're going to look at here when we try to resolve this identifier. Whoops. And I have a feeling I know exactly what I'm going to see here. What I'm not sure about is why this works after the steal, but not before the steal. Anyway, so we got, oh, maybe because we just set the inferred type to polyuse. So we just sleep right here. See, this is null, which is exactly what I expected. So it looks up. So there's a declaration for, okay, I'll tell you exactly what's happening. Same thing has been happening for like an hour. This R, this is an identifier. It points to a declaration that lives in the constants block of this thing. That does not have its inferred type set. But like, why does it after the steal? Like what? I looked at the steal and all it really did was move the declaration. So I don't know what's going on. If a cow ate a bad hamburger, that would be cannibalism. You don't want cow cannibalism. It leads to prions. No good. I think I figured it out. I know what the difference is. The difference is the following thing. Okay. Actually, I don't know. What I was thinking was, there's a thing in pipes where if you're inside a polymorphic function, you don't get queued. I don't see that happening here, but I don't think this error can happen. Damn it, I thought I'd figured it out. So here's where we don't build bytecode for something that's inside a polymorphic function. But we ain't getting that far. So that's not the differentiating factor. This one is in the run pipe. That's even further. Like, why is that in a different place from ask.h? Let's move that. Like, why is that in polymorph.h? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out like what happens, do identifiers get tagged do not resolve if they're polymorphic? could just set do not resolve on this thing. Right? But so here's where we were yielding up here. Down here is this check if our type defines a constants block entry. So the question is why that wasn't set. Like, shouldn't that be set 100% of the time? Attach defin to constants block entry. When does that happen? And why don't we do it immediately? This only happens when we infer the declaration. It doesn't make any sense to do it there. Let's not do that there. This doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay. This is weird. Just when we add something to a constants block, we put that on it at the time when we add it. There's no reason to delay, I don't think. I hope not. Okay, 9629 of typer. And that's good because we're taking an extra if statement out of a thing that runs for every single declaration in the frickin' universe. So less code there is good. Okay, isn't there like an add to constants block? Yes. Sets is constants block entry. So this comment is kind of out of date because those variables don't exist, but it's still true. Hopefully I call that consistently. Now let's see what happens. Well, we got further. Can't have a declaration with neither type nor value. That's more like a... T. It's the declaration for T. That's in the constants block. Where are we? Oh, haha, because I took out the if statement. Duh. Compiler generated constants block entries. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's the improper insertion. Improper insertion. People ask, how do you succeed in the game industry? And I always tell them, do not do an improper insertion. It's not good. Left-hand side of equal must be an identifier. I don't think that's what you saw, because there's nothing saying the left-hand side must of equal. There's no rule that the left-hand side of equal must be an identifier. The program, that's the worst error message in the world. It's not telling me anything. All right. The program contains circular dependencies. What is the stuck pipe? There's one item in it. It's the infer pipe. What item? It's a run directive. Line 1053 of Sokoban. Oh, we're not getting very far. Process args. Did I break things so badly that we can't frickin' do anything anymore? Oh my God. Oh my God. Why is it complaining about this? What is your major malfunction, Lieutenant? Dependencies. 1. Data. Why is ident name never set anymore? That's not helpful. Something's in the run pipe. That's probably the body of the run directive. Did you miss C? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's certainly not the case that the left-hand side of an equal operator needs to be an identifier. You might have seen something for a very context-specific equals. So like an equals inside a procedure call is about assigning parameter values to named parameters, right? So you say like name equals value inside a procedure call. So maybe you saw that, right? It's possible you saw that. And maybe the error message just says equals and doesn't specify because the error readout is supposed to give you the detail. Okay, that explains it. All right, so the program contains circular dependencies. This thing is in pipe run. Exit view. So useless. Build final. Lambda body. We're not getting a graph out of any of these. They're just all there. Like, it looks like nothing in this file. No procedure in this file is proceeding past the run pipe. Why did I do that? How did I do that? Well, this has two dependencies. Frickin', I don't know what just happened. I bumped a cable somewhere. 128, great. Great. Both of these are run pipe dependencies. Lambda overload dependent. God darn it. Process args is also in the run pipe. Okay, so this seems to be the problematic. Line 1016. Well, it's process args. It has a bunch of dependencies. At this point, I'm a little bit tempted I'm just a little bit tempted to do a full revert because we're like several changes deep now. And the one change that we just made that's really meaningful is the one about setting the type as soon as we add something to a constants block, which by itself actually is meaningful and would clean things up. But that also might be causing this problem. Do a branch, question mark. Maybe. I mean, if I did a branch, I would do a lazy branch where I just copy the files. Let's do lazy branch. Okay, so we copied the files. Now I'm going to revert, but I want to remember, so the one that I want to do immediately. So first we're just going to make sure that we are back, and then so we're not going to do the uncubed polymorphic body. We're going to do we're not going to do any of this. We're going to do actually, let me go into the lazy branch and just get exactly these files. There, pipes.cpp, polymorph.h, typer.cpp. New. Okay. So we want to do probably ask.h was where that thing was. Oh, well, we could keep that. Yeah, attach def into constants block entry. Oh, wait, no. Uncubed, okay. We actually wouldn't mind 2 of those changes, but they're not the ones we want. Where was the frickin' thing? Where was the frickin' thing? What, am I hallucinating? Where it was add to constants block. Where was that? It's an ask.cpp. We added that. Oh, it's 1 line, so maybe I just went right by it. There. That's the one part that we want. Okay. what's the current music? Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot the other part of that change, but we can duplicate that. So add to constants block. We did this. And we need to go to was it here? Where was the thing that we took out of the... We could fix the indentation there while we're at it. Where was it? I need to go back to the VOD and watch. It was something in... Oh, it was in infer for declaration, right? It was here, I think. Yep. In fact, we'll comment this out just so we remember what it was, because that could be causing problems. Okay, this is weird. On second thought, so I had to put this here to fix a problem. On second thought, I shouldn't get here if this is working correctly. So when we did like, if this declaration has an inferred type, we shouldn't get here. So something is getting added to a constants block. I think this assert is going to trip, and that'll explain why we log jammed and why things didn't compile. Let's try simple. Okay, that worked. I knew it. Okay, let's see where that is going off. Actually, do we ever just do that? I mean, is it? Okay. sort this file. It's one reason why I wanted to do it, because we really stress test things. So this is probably a stolen constants block entry, right? Okay, wait, when we steal, oh, do we clear the type? Are we butthead? Oh, because I deleted the thing. No. Oh, we manually. See, this should already have a type, though, when this happens. Does that go off? This one doesn't. This one does. Okay. Now, maybe it's getting cleared. Oh, when we copy something, I bet this is created in copy. So I was saying, oh, every time we add something to the constants block, we set the type. But when we copy something for polymorph, we don't necessarily do that. I bet that's it. We're going to do this very slow breakpoint, though. And determine where that was created. Ho-de-do, we're just waiting for the breakpoints. Okay, where are we at? Copy. Yep. So this came from a block copy. And this used to happen in checked add to scope. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. Fine. At least I guessed what it was before it happened. Well, it's not exactly a guess. If now we make a new type, right, because this thing points back to itself. There might be a better way to do that ultimately, but we're not going to upset too many apple carts. I don't trust that this is built. Okay, let's see what happens. Still. That might not be the only time that we copy a frickin' Constance block. I don't know. Is it the same one? Did I somehow... Oh, let's turn off that slow breakpoints. It's the same frickin' declaration. Oh no, it's different. 429-502-416. This might be the original. Let's find out where this one's coming from. Oh wait, no, that one's later. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to take a while again. PUBG support just posted a tweet saying, PC players, we're aware of an issue preventing some players from launching the game. We are working to resolve this issue and expect to roll out a fix in approximately 3 hours. This is like 2 years after PUBG launched or whatever at this point. Like, they're still doing this crap. How can you print out the call stack on a cert? Well, in Windows, you can install an interrupt handler, and then you can make that walk the stack. Seriously, they just tweeted this. I am not lying. Dude, the game's been out for 2 years. You guys have more money than Infinity. And you still can't keep your game stable. Their company has like I don't even know, like 500 times the budget of my company? More? 1,000 times? 2,000 times? 5,000 times? 10,000 times the budget? They have so much money. If I had PUBG money, would it change what I was working on? Well, we definitely would get done what we're doing faster, probably. Wait, we're still in copy block. I put it on the wrong thing. Bro, it never ends. I'm just trying to fix this one thing. No, I was trying to close the window, please. Oh, great, I closed Visual Studio. Windows is so bad. All right, so the problem, I'm going to assume that this is not a valid S anymore, but it might be. Decal S 442416. What is going on? Copy and force infer. Oh, the force infer. Bro. Force infer sets the type of everything to null, probably. Oh my God. Maybe. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to copy block. Why can't I click? Oh, because I can't edit it. I can't click this to select it either, to copy the value, because it's not in scope right now, so you can't copy the value of the number, even though it's drawing it right there. Dude, PUBG Corporation and Microsoft Visual Studio Corporation should get together and make the best software in the universe. Okay. So when we're here, I'm just going to manually type the number, or maybe it's copying and I can't tell. Nope. You can't copy the value if it's not in scope. Why would you think that you should ever be able to do that? It's ridiculous. Do you think computers are God or something? It's just not. Okay. Yep, it's getting set to null. Enforce infer. Ay, ay, ay. That's why I put this in add to scope, because there's all these exceptions that operate on it. But if we're going to have cruft due to exceptions, I'd rather have them be in the exception than in the general thing. Or no, it wasn't in add to scope. It was in infer. Yeah, we don't put it in add to scope. I don't know. Okay, we're going to put it here. A declaration case, nope. Screw it. Continue. All right. Oh my God. We may have successfully changed the compiler. Everybody. Oh my God. Stop the presses. This is better, even though it may not seem much better because we added some if statements. There's more of an invariant now. The invariant is when there's something in a constants block, it always has a type set. It doesn't need to wait for a weird infer step. And that does mean we could reduce, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it for now, but there are some slight efficiencies we might gain from that. Okay. Okay. Maybe this was a mistake. I don't know. So why did we do that? We did that because we were having a problem with resolving an identifier not working. So we could try that again now. I'm actually going to document this. I have this file. Y, I guess it's Y. Declarations inside a constants block always have their inferred type set if they represent unbound variables. They will be set. Definition. This lets the type checker. So all right, we're going to go back to the steel. So we have two things we can do about the steel. We can do the first thing that we tried to do, or the second thing we tried to do. I prefer to do the second thing, but the first thing is probably easier. This part do that. See what happens there. Wow. Bro. We made that change. The game just frickin' compiled. Test didn't. Oh, the must have a body thing. Right, we did a fix for that. We're still into an outer procedure, so we are okay here. Possibly we should. wait. Or return. This error doesn't apply. So if there's no items, not equal to 0. Yeah. So confusing. So confusing. Run tests. Still didn't work. Okay, wait. It works on everything in Sokoban, just not this. That's weird. So I guess it's this. Oh, stealing happens in check function header. So we have to do that first. Oh, hey, that was a thing I was going to do. Let's just see what happens if we change even more things. Just willy-nilly change stuff. If you're going to yield, you need to do it before that. Well, I guess we're not yielding. All right. Still. Oh, now this is. Why is this so hard? Okay. Polymorphic procedure must have a body. Let's move this up here because these are related. I mean, it's not working, so whatever, but we're going to put that there. That is not going to change anything. Oh, right, okay. This version of it won't work for the first version of steal, because the first version of steal that we did is the outer guy stealing from the inner guy, and the inner guy gets inferred first. So this is no good. We could temporarily comment this out and see if things work, because in correct tests, this would always work. And then we can do the second version of steal anyway, which is the one that I really wanted to do. All right. So the game compiles. We just lost an error checking that we might need. Undeclared identifier R. Oh, that's not looking good. Undeclared identifier C. Well, let's try the second version of steal where we pass it up. So we're commenting out all of this. right. And this. Okay. And at the bottom here, we're going to say block enclosing scope, block type is, enclosing type equals this. Just retyping the same stuff I did like an hour ago. Okay, then we do that steel. If we could pull this off, enclosing scope, parents. If we could pull this off, it'll be pretty good. We can't! We can't pull it off. Oh my God. Well, we crashed in line 956. I guess we may not always have constants blocks. Build. I want to see the output. That didn't help. That wasn't the crash. Let's see what the crash is. There's no parent? What? How is there no parent of this lambda? That doesn't make any sense. This must be a compiler generated lambda. Oh yeah, it's probably like a constructor or some shit. Pre-main. I was presumptuous. I regret my presumptuosity. Set up implicit destructs helper. What does that have to do with fucking... Thanks, Emacs, for deleting my file. It's not like I was trying to do anything. So this is weird. This is new, a new issue. I'm not really sure what would crash us there. Guess we're going to find out. We don't have a type, right? Sure, we're in a constants block. 128 of first. No. This is simply a regular declaration. It's an identifier. What's suspicious is there's an identifier called W here. And that's also called W. Like, why? Why don't we have a type? I don't know. Enclosing scope belongs to lambda. Queued. The lambda claims that it finished compiling. I just want to know what happens if I do that. That is very sus. No, didn't matter. Did the body get unqueued because we think that our header is polymorphic? Did that happen? It belongs to lambda. 512. Yes, this lambda got flagged as polymorphic, which it ain't. So that's weird. Oh, because I called... See, I called Steel. I called Remington Steel. See, I should only do this if I'm polymorphic. See, otherwise, everybody that takes a procedure argument will be polymorphic, and then it won't make any sense. Polymorphic procedure must have a body. I thought we frickin' fixed that. So many times. So many times. Okay, lambda s. God, just let me select the number. Visual Studio. Always it's so bad. All right, run the cursor. Okay, hopefully we're polymorphic. Whoa. Whoa. I mean, maybe that's not the lambda I thought it was. quicksort. So this is the outer procedure. So it is polymorphic. It should have gotten, oh no, wait, members 1. Okay, that's correct. Members 1. So it's got a body. Okay, wait. Why is it not flagged as has a body? That doesn't, like what? I mean, it clearly has a body. I mean, unless I got confused. Lambda name quicksort. Why isn't it flagged as having a body? Because it was copied, possibly. And the copying doesn't copy that flag. Which would be a bug. Nope, polymorph source lambda. Like what? How is it not flagged as having a body? Are pre-main functions polymorphic? No, they are not. You still need the constant block parent check. Are there polymorphic pre-main? Oh, I see. In principle, no, that shouldn't happen. I'm not worried about that yet because I have a serious problem to think about, which is what's going on here. Like, that's just whatever. This is actually causing a problem. So well, I mean, maybe it's getting cleared. Quick lambda. Underactive. This is probably where that happened. Dude, I just want to copy the number. Jesus. I just just want to type in this box. Oh my God, dude. Okay, that's weird. This has to be a copy somehow. What is literally going on? All right. We gotta go here. Gotta go here. Gotta go there. Whoever is making this is not appropriately copying that flag. It's taken a while to go. It's going down the mountain when it goes. It's going down the mountain when it goes. It's going down the mountain, going down the mountain. Okay. See. If do not copy procedure bodies. Whoa, what? Copy and force infer. Why? Okay, wait. Solve for matches. Okay. the thing that we're inferring is not the actual procedure. It's a copy that was made for the purposes of type inference on the polymorphic types. So the error message does not apply. When we clear this flag, do not copy procedure bodies. We're just going to add a flag here. I don't like adding flags, but lambda body was cleared due to because this is a temporary copy. See, you should always name your flags really short names so that they're easy to type. Tried to copy this frickin' text. I also wanted to select the Y, like, okay. So here, flag name is too short. I agree. I so much am agreeing. Move matches into constants block. Assert decal. Okay, wait. Okay, you know what? Remember how I said, oh, it's such a good idea to push my variables into the parent. Well, if we do that when we infer the temporary copy, then they won't be there when we try to use them to do the actual matching. In fact, we could probably skip most of this checking. Didn't help. All right. At this point, I'm ready to throw the compiler out the window. Not really, but so, you know, sometimes you try to simplify one thing and you start running into a lot of problems like this. And that's real. I mean, you know, the thing that makes a software project like this hard when it gets big is all these, you know, different concerns about what needs to be any particular way. And they're all like pulling on each other, and it makes it hard to change anything. And it's kind of like solving a puzzle in a game where you try to do one thing and you're like, oh, I need to figure out how to do this other thing first. So it might be, so one thing that I'm relatively not that happy with in the code is the way that things get copied with little hacks to not copy everything, and it's confusing and it's hard to think about. And we're looking at one of them here. Like, so to do a polymorph solve, we copy all this stuff and re-infer it to, like, I guess the same types that we already have. And the reason we do that is solely so that we could edit the constants block of one thing. So, like, really I want to think about that, actually. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the to-do. We're gonna revert all, well, not all of it, but we're going to go to the to-do and we're going to say we want to simplify the argument polymorph stealing so that all of it happens posts at the end of check function header. But when we do this, we have a lot of problems with polymorph copy kinds of. Oh, okay. It might be, for example, when we make a temporary copy of a procedure header without the body. Copy and force infer. Yeah. So this is something where if I could do it a different way, it would be cleaner and easier to think about. And see the note. Be cleaner and easier to think about, and probably faster, because having to do these copies every time just because we want to do a polymorph solve is like, well, that's, I mean, copying data structures ain't free. It costs $1.09. So see the comment that starts with this. So if we do the plan where we store the inferred type and substitution in a parallel array to the tree, then we don't have to make copies of the ast ever, and lots of things will be faster and cleaner, I hope. Right, so this would be a major re-engineering of parts of the compiler, but sometimes it's just time to do that. I'm not sure, I want to think about it, but so right now, so the issue is we end up copying things a lot. So like we were doing that copy in order to solve for polymorph variables, but suppose we find the polymorph variables and now we want to polymorph the actual procedure. Well, we copy the entire frickin' procedure every time you polymorph it, and that's expensive. And the reason we copy it is because the type inference data for every node stays on the node, right? Now the thing is, the problem is there are other things that also go on the node, and factoring those apart might not be good. I'm not sure. But it would prevent us from having to copy so much stuff. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't want to do this change until a later revision of the compiler. Because at the same time, though, I want to make things very robust. And one of the things that I feel least secure about is all the weird copying that's hard to get right. Because you can't just like recursively copy everything, right? You have to detect shared pointers. You have to, I mean, there's invariants that you want to maintain, like that one that we just did about if you put something in the constants block, blah, blah, blah. There's making things sure things are parented properly. I don't know. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Early decisions have a huge influence on the code. If you make a conceptual mistake early on, it gets harder and harder to fix it as you progress with the rest of the code. That is totally true. I would expand that even though, because it doesn't even have to be a mistake, right? Like sometimes you don't know exactly the best way, but you're like 10% off the best way. Well, you do pay for that until the end of time, right? Or maybe the way that you did something was the best way for the way that the rest of the compiler was early in development. And so you grew your concepts around that, but then enough things changed that the appropriate best solution is now something different, but you're invested in the other architecture, right? That happens a lot too. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a mistake. But this, you know, doing this change that I just typed up this note about here, it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. It's just the more I think about it, the more I think it's scary, just in terms of the amount of work that would have to be done. On the other hand, it would be way cleaner in many ways. On the other hand, I can actually think of some reasons why it would be less efficient, actually. Like it might cost more CPU. Yeah, I could see that. So part of what's going on here is I have you know, my tree has two different kinds of information in it, right? So it's the syntax tree, right? Which is just like, hey, here's what the program text says. And then it's got semantic information also in the same tree nodes. Like, here's the type, here's the size of something or other, here's a pointer to the declaration that this identifier refers to. All that stuff, if you didn't want to copy the nodes, would have to go into parallel data structures that get stored somewhere. And think about those parallel data structures. Is you have to allocate them and dereference them and all that stuff, and that costs $1.09 as well. So I don't know. I'm actually not sure what the right answer is. I might even just postpone this decision. I might leave this node around, postpone this decision, and just clean up other things. Because we did successfully clean up some stuff tonight. It's just we have not succeeded at the big thing, which was this polymorph steal. Although we're close to succeeding. Wait, didn't we? No, we didn't. So I feel like we might actually have succeeded. Back when we were doing Steal version 2, or Steal version 1, let's try switching back to that. The pull steal instead of the push steal. Because the pull steal doesn't have this problem. I mean, we might have changed enough other things that it's going to break anyway, but who knows? Oh, come on. Come on. It's a different one at least, but oh, right, because, yeah. I mean, we could check this differently. Right? What we were doing this enclosing type thing. And like if we do this, then we don't care about the steal. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. I think we can get rid of the temporary copy thing. Dude. know you're not up to date because I just changed the file. What's up, people? Chat got so quiet. Oh, I broke it. I broke it. Well, I think we're doing good. Maybe. No, we're not. All right. Yeah, so it's late. So we are not going to check in this steel change. Let's see if there's anything that we do want to save. We got we already checked in part of the steel change, the initial cleanups, but this whole move from AST into typer, from parse time into type check time, we did not save. So yeah, we actually got most of it. It's just this part. Yeah. So really, so my plan is I want to figure out how to simplify the polymorphism to use fewer copies. Now, the thing that I typed in the notes was sort of the extreme solution. There might be simpler solutions. Like if I'm just doing the solve, there might be simpler solution. Like I might be able to no, because it's hard, man. It's hard. Warning against improper insertion applies. Yes, it does. All right. I'm going to go to bed now, and I'm going to be thinking about what to do. We had a mildly successful stream. There was not massive progress, but there was small progresses and small cleanups. There's definitely puzzles to solve here about how to simplify things so that stuff just isn't exploding all over the place when we try to do something like this. Sometimes it's not easy to know. If I tried using RemedyBG, no, not yet. I was going to do that on a stream, and I was maybe going to do that tonight, but then I decided to do this instead. So maybe that'll be tomorrow night. I don't know. Wouldn't be the worst thing to try. Let's see if we got any friends on that we could host. I don't see any. So I think we're not gonna raid anyone tonight, because if we do that every time, then it's just too obvious. So thanks everyone for coming by, and we'll do another stream soon. there's still a lot of cleanups. If I search for cleanup, still 409 lines of it that could be cleaned up. There's no shortage. Some of them are going to be a lot easier than the one we tried to attack tonight, so that's okay. Aha, this one's easy. Hopefully. You never know. Any recommendations on how to implement a perspective projection with a moving camera? I don't think the camera moving or not has anything to do with it. If the camera's moving, you just recompute the projection every frame. You know? You just have to know how to implement a perspective projection, which involves linear algebra. You could figure it out from first principles. Re-implementing Duke Nukem 3D. Well, I mean, Duke Nukem 3D was weird because it's not really fully 3D, right? It's like 2.5D sort of. And it's sort of like Doom, but different, right? So I don't know what they do in that source code. How are we doing threading on Linux? pthreads or straight up clone? I don't actually know. I haven't been paying attention to that. Probably pthreads. All right, thank you everybody for coming by, and I will see you later. Do I have back problems after programming? No. No. Why would I have back problems? I don't program with a spike on my back. Good night.